Hey, what's up, everyone? So, we're talking about martial arts films, and I watched Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, but for the sake of time and because I want to get really in depth, I'm gonna only talk about Kill Bill Volume 1. Let's start off. I'm gonna start off with a short little synopsis of Volume 1. Basically, Beatrix, which is the character that Uma Thurman plays, she wakes up from a coma, a 4-year coma, after her ex-lover, Bill, tries to murder her on her wedding day. And she is also pregnant on this wedding day. So she has a life purpose, her purpose is to be a mother now. She's pregnant. And she's starting new, but he finds her and he tries to murder her. And basically, her new life's purpose, since she finds out that she loses her baby, but later on we find out that she didn't lose her baby, is to get revenge for what he did and everybody that helped him get to that point and helped, try to end her life and her daughter's life. So her ultimate goal is to try to murder Bill. So revenge is definitely what fuels her and what drives the film forward. She is relentless. Nothing is going to stop her from getting revenge. She is the female protagonist and the female heroine in this film. And I just would like to say that I think she is one of the most badass characters in film. She is just completely, driven by her revenge, and she's determined. She's determined to get it. And she does. She does end up getting it, as we know. She kills everybody that she has on her hit list. Like, nobody stands in her way. The craziest assassins can't, are no match for her, because her revenge honestly just takes over, and it really helps her become a ruthless killer. Black Mamba is symbolic of that, because the Black Mamba is a very deadly snake. It's one of the deadliest snakes, or the deadliest snake. So, and that is what she's called, because she is part of the, as we know, the Viper Squad, the Deadly Viper Squad. So she devises a hit list. She goes on a quest where she faces all of these unrelentless enemies. She does get through. She is victorious. She gets through all of them. Some of them, they're intense scenes, especially the one, I forgot what her name is. The crazy girl with the bangs, and she has like the ball with the spikes. Crazy scene. I always get scared with that scene because I'm like, oh my god, is she gonna die this time? But obviously I've seen it before, so I know she doesn't die, but crazy scene nonetheless. As we know, in this film, the martial art form is, using the samurai swords. And using samurai swords isn't as easy as it looks, because, yeah, it looks super cool and it looks like, oh, I could do that. But in reality, it's not. It takes a lot of practice, and I think just the practice that it takes to do martial arts and to do a martial art form like using samurai swords is very ritualistic in nature, because you have to, do the same actions and moves over again. You really have to get into it's as much internal as it is external with the physical. It's very much an internal process. The sword is also a very powerful symbol. The sword is ultimately the tool that she needs to further on in her journey. Because yes, she is very strong, but she needs the sword. She needs it in order to fulfill her goal and to use her revenge to the fullest extent, if that makes sense. So the other reason that the sword is a very, very powerful symbol, one, it takes a month. It took a month to make. So already, that sword is made from the best metals. It's handcrafted, and it's very important to her that she has that sword. She even tells him, the man, I forgot what his name is. Oh my god, I'm really bad. I should have written this down. But she tells him, like, I didn't ask you for this sword. I'm telling you to give it to me. Because no matter what, she's not taking no for an answer. Because Bill was one of his students, so he kind of owes it to her now to help her out. So, and he tells her, once the sword is done, which I thought this was very cool, this quote, um, if on your journey you should encounter God, then God will be cut. That just shows the power of the sword, how strong this sword is, and how important this sword is. Like, to say that this sword can cut through God, boy, you know what I mean? Let's move on to how this film is a tale of revenge, and how revenge is a central theme of this film. So, revenge obviously is what fuels her. It makes her into a very ruthless individual. No matter who is in her way, she's getting through them. Revenge can make us do crazy things, and if someone does you wrong, you know, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You took my baby from me, I'm gonna take your life. Like, she has nothing else to lose but her own life. Revenge is very powerful because it makes you disregard your human emotions and your compassion for other human beings. You just go straight savage mode, at least she did, and you go for what you need to go for. So in her case, it's just killing everybody on her hit list that did her wrong and getting to Bill. And then I wanted to talk about the theme of rape revenge. This theme was brought up in the video, the lecture video. And as I was watching the film, I definitely saw it, you know, throughout. And the first time was when she wakes up from the coma, and these two men, the nurse guy and probably his friend, I don't know, they come in, and he says, oh, it's $75 and you can do whatever you want to her, basically, like, whatever. You know, they're basically treating her like she's not even a human, like she's just an object there that you can do whatever you want to her. She was awake, so she definitely gets revenge on that guy. She bites his lip off, and it's pretty gruesome, but he deserved it. And then she gets revenge on the nurse guy too, because she remembers. People don't understand that when somebody's in a coma, they can still hear. They could still, you know, they could still process that in their brains, what they're hearing. She gets that, like, strike of memory, and she's like, let's go. It's time for you to get your head smashed by this door. And she smashes his head with the door like a bunch of times, and then steals his vehicle. Then I wanted to talk about Oren's revenge with rape. Okay, yeah, she was raped, honestly, because the old man that killed her parents, he's probably important, but what's his name? He was actually a pedophile, and he was into young girls. So she uses that to her advantage. And yes, he's disgusting, and obviously this is not the way, like, she obviously doesn't want to do this, but she does it just so that she can get revenge and to avenge her parents, because he killed them when she was a little girl, like, and she was there in the room. That scene just gets me every time, honestly. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is ritual. I think that the way that Beatrix is killing people is ritualistic, because she writes down their names. They're all the people in the Deadly Viper assassination squad. She writes down the people that need to be killed, and she goes to each of them, and it's just ritualistic that she must kill them. She gets through them, and she goes on to the next one. It's very, you know, it's a process, and she gets through it. So yeah, her ritualistic killings of all the people that did her wrong. Now, I also talked about martial arts being ritualistic and the way you learn it. And then I wanted to bring up the 5-point heart exploding technique, which is obviously in volume 2. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is the theme of rebirth. And I think this is crazy, because I was watching it and I thought of this, and it kind of just, like, blew my mind. I was like, whoa. Am I the only one that, you know, maybe other people think this way too, but I was watching some of the other vlogs and I didn't see people mention this. So let's talk about it. The theme of rebirth. So Beatrix is technically reborn when she wakes up from her 4-year coma. I'm not just saying that because, oh yeah, like, she wakes up, it's 4 years later. No. Okay. Her new purpose in life before, her purpose was to be a mother when she found out she was pregnant. But when she was almost assassinated and then she wakes up, now her new purpose is completely just revenge. Revenge on everybody who did her wrong. She needs to kill them all. And I just saw it with the symbolism of her legs being paralyzed, her learning to walk again. It kind of just like, it's such a parallel from like a baby learning to walk and a baby learning everything new. It's like this is her new life. She's starting new. She's starting fresh. This is her being reborn. So yeah, I thought that was crazy, and I thought that was a very big like symbol right there, like right in my eyes. I was like, wow. She's learning to walk and she has a new purpose. This is her new life. Some other symbolism that I thought was pretty cool was when Copperhead pulls out the cereal says kaboom on it, and she actually has a gun hidden inside that she uses to try to kill Beatrix. And I thought that was pretty cute because like kaboom and then the gun explodes, so it's pretty clever. So yeah, the other symbolism that I saw was when Beatrix erases Bill's name off of the window because it's symbolic, because she wants to erase him from existence. That's her ultimate goal. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then last but not least, what I'll be talking about is the cinematic elements in the film that I really appreciated. First one I want to talk about is the split screen with the nurse scene. I thought that this was really cool because it's just like the two sides of the screen, and you see one side is the nurse like getting ready and whistling that really creepy whistle, and then the other side is just Beatrix in her coma, and it's like showing the malicious, you know, intentions of the nurse by showing like the veins, and then it's showing like the syringe in the other screen. And I just thought that was very like cool how he played around with how Tarantino played around with that. The second thing I want to talk about is the music. I know everybody's been bringing up the music. I think the music is perfect. I love the soundtrack. I know it's like out there and crazy, but it just works with the scene. It works with the assassinations and all that. I think it's super creative, and it really did add a lot for me while I was watching it. Like I don't know, I felt like I connected with it. I resonated with the music resonated with me, if that makes sense. Yeah, I totally appreciated that. Another thing was the facial close-up shots, which shows the intensity of the fights. You know, you see like her eyes, and then I'll put like a clip of the sound in that sound. It's just very intense, and it's super cool. Like, it can't be intimidating. I tried. Okay, so the animation of O-Ren's backstory definitely added dimension to the film, and I thought that was super cool. And then last but not least is all the blood used in the film. It's very representative of her passion for revenge, and her passion to find Bill and kill him, and her anger and rage, of course. And now the last thing that I needed to talk about was martial arts films. Now, personally, I don't watch martial art films because I don't know, I've never really been drawn to it. But these films are just a whole different ballgame because the storytelling, you know, the way that the timeline like jumps from one, you know, time to another time, and then it takes you to the past. I just think like it really stimulates your mind, and it makes you think, and it gets you very interested and invested in the story. I think that the story and the use of symbolism and the music and everything working together is really what attracts people to this kind of martial art films, and that's why I think that this film definitely works. So yeah, that's all I have for today, guys, and I hope you enjoy.